Hi everyone, welcome to another video, and it's here, the Infinix Zero 4, which is the successor to the Infinix Zero 3, which was one of the best devices from Infinix, is finally here. We're going to open the box up and check out the specs and everything that the device has to offer. Now the first thing you notice in the box is the Infinix Zero 4 itself. Now when you take it out and you take a closer look at it, you can see it has a full metal unibody design. There is no single trace of plastic anywhere. Everything is all metallic on this phone. Now if you take a look at the right side of the device, you can see we have our memory card tray. At the bottom we have two speaker grills and our USB port. On the right side of the phone we have our volume button, our power button and our SIM card tray. Then at the top of the phone we have our 3.5mm headphone jack. Now going deeper into the box, the next thing you'll notice is this small pack, which when we open it has two papers. The first one, which is pure black, has all the accessories in the phone written out on it, which is the phone, the power adapter, the USB cable, the case, the user guide, the earpiece, the pin and the film inside. Now this is the film which was described in the paper, and this is your user manual. And there's also the same ejector pin here. Now the second thing you see is this plastic protective case, which looks quite nice, similar to the one on the Lenovo A7010. Now it clips right to the back of the phone and offers more protection to your device. So this is the first from Infinix. Normally their devices don't come with protective cases. So the next thing here is our earpiece, which is the same generic one we're used to from Infinix. Nothing special here. Then we have our USB cable and our charger brick. And there's nothing else in the box. Now let's take a look at the specs. Firstly, we have a 5.5-inch full HD screen which is covered by Gorilla Glass. We have an octa-core 64-bit CPU running under the hood. Then at the back we have a 60-megapixel primary camera which has optical image stabilization. Then in the front we have an 8-megapixel camera with flash. We have 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs inbuilt memory. We have a 3200 mAh battery which has the X-Charge feature, which is going to make the battery charge faster. Then finally we have our fingerprint sensor and 4G LTE support. And let's not forget that the XOS skin, which is present on almost all new Infinix devices, runs on Android 6.0 Marshmallow. Now the first thing I noticed when I turned the back was that the camera has quite a bulge. I mean, look at it. The camera will not let the phone sit down flush on a flat surface, but I'm not really bothered by it. I just felt I should just bring it up because some people don't like a camera coming out that much. And speaking about the camera, seriously, you have nothing to fear. I know a lot of people are going to be thinking the Infinix Zero 3 had a 20-megapixel camera and this has just 60 megapixels. But like I said in the previous video, megapixels don't always mean the camera is better. For example, the iPhone 7 has a 12-megapixel camera and it outperforms most of these phones which are touting their 20-megapixel sensors or their 60-megapixel sensors. The Infinix Zero 4 is actually quite capable. I really liked the fact that there was pro options, so you can change your shutter speed, your ISO, and it's something we've not really had on this kind of phones before, so that's a big thumbs up to Infinix. I also really liked the front camera. I like the fact that it had a flash, which means it makes your pictures quite clearer. Low light situations won't always be a nightmare. There's also a feature that will allow you to record with your front and back camera at the same time. But here are some sample pictures. Now, another thing I was really happy to see was that there was no hybrid SIM slot. Thank goodness, no hybrid SIM slot. I really don't like them. The joy of not having to choose to sacrifice one of your SIM cards cannot be expressed enough. I don't know why they tried it with the Infinix Hot S, but I hope they don't try it ever again. One thing I noticed about the speaker was that sound only came out from one side of the grill and doesn't come out from the other. This problem also occurred with the Infinix Hot S, and I don't know particularly why it happens. Another thing I took note of was that capacitive touch buttons are back, but this time instead of being actual buttons with like signs that you can use to determine which is which, we only have 3 dots. I seriously don't get it. Just 3 dots, that's all we have. Now when you take a look at the screen of the phone, you can truly tell Infinix upped the resolution, because you can tell this is just not your normal HD phone. This is full HD and it looks amazing. It actually looks very nice, probably the best display on any Infinix device. As you guys can probably tell by now, I really like this phone. Even though I have a couple of complaints, I still think it's a very solid device. Now, I won't want to spill everything on this video because I've not fully tested out this device. So watch out for a full review video coming out very soon, where I'm going to test this phone fully. I'm going to benchmark it, I'm going to use CPU-Z on it, and I'm going to take the phone through extensive testing. So watch out for that, guys. Thank you so much for supporting my channel up until this point, and I hope to see your support more and more. See you guys very soon.